Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for the May 13th Provincial Wildfire Update. The Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation and the Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Services are joining us from Calgary. We also have officials from Alberta Emergency Management Agency and Alberta Wildfire on the line from Edmonton to provide an update on today's wildfire. Joining us are Bree Hutchinson, Executive Director with Alberta Emergency Management Agency, and José Saint-Onge, Information Officer with Alberta Wildfire. We will start with some opening remarks and then follow with questions and answers. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Minister Ellis.
Great, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I just want to start off by thanking everyone who's working around the clock right now. Whether you're fighting wildfires, helping out evacuation centers, or checking in on your neighbors, your actions make a major difference in the lives of your fellow Albertans. You'll hear in a few minutes how extreme the fire conditions are today and how they're expected to continue in the days ahead. I'd now like to provide an update on some of the work that the province and the local communities have been tackling together to help reduce the risk of wildfire spread. We know that fire guards are an important part of helping to fight wildfire. When used with other operational tactics such as air tankers, helicopters, and ground crews, the province is stepping up to work with local authorities in the County of Grande Prairie and the City of Grande Prairie to implement strategies to protect the City of Grande Prairie, including fire guards. Fire guards can potentially reinforce and support the existing guards that have been established to address the current wildfire in the Dunes area. Additionally, the province, along with the local authorities with the municipal district of Greenview, are working to establish a fire guard close to Little Smoky and along Highway 43. These efforts will support the recently built guards close to the existing wildfire that are designed to provide some additional defenses to the town of Fox Creek and the community of Little Smoky. Fire guards are barriers that are created by removing trees and other vegetation, essentially getting rid of the fuel for the fire. They can also be used to backstop burnouts of flammable fuels. So no defense is perfect, and extreme wildfire behavior can challenge the best of defenses. However, fire guards either close to wildfire or in critical pathways heading to communities are an important tool that we can and of course that we do use. I want to stress that building these additional fire guards will not pull critical wildfire resources from fighting wildfires. The province will be providing the needed funding and technical assistance for building these fire guards in partnership with local authorities. Any other emergent municipal fire guards needs to that are also being assessed by the province and, of course, local authorities. Community leaders are encouraged to reach out to their local forestry office or contact the Alberta Emergency Management Agency to plan proactive fire guards around their communities. Our number one priority is to protect all human lives, and we fight these wildfires and face the challenging weather and severe fire conditions that we're anticipating this weekend. Finally, I'm not surprised, but still I'm very pleased and thankful to hear about how local businesses who are stepping up to help their fellow Albertans through these challenging times. For example, at a briefing earlier today, I was made aware of hotels offering discounts on rooms, discounts on foods, waiving pet fees, allowing pets to stay when they normally wouldn't allow that in their hotel, and allowing free parking for RVs. You know, it really is great to see how businesses are making an effort to accommodate and do their part for those who are forced to evacuate. And on behalf of the province of Alberta, a sincere thank you to everything you're doing to help those evacuees. We'll get through this together. And it's just examples like this that show how strong and resilient Albertans are and how community really truly is. I'm now going to turn things over to the Agriculture and Irrigation Minister, Minister Nate Horner, for an update. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Minister Ellis. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start off by echoing my colleague and saying thank you to all of the firefighters and all first responders who are working around the clock to keep Albertans safe. I also want to thank everyone who has stepped forward to volunteer or offered support to their fellow Albertans, especially those being evacuated from their homes. It is in difficult times like these that we see the Alberta spirit truly come to life. We see how people continue to pull together, and we see how resilient Albertans and our communities truly are. The situation continues to change rapidly, but emergency officials continue to do everything possible to support. As Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, and as a rancher myself, I've heard from many ranchers and farmers who have been evacuated from their homes. I want all affected ranchers and farmers to know that we understand this is a particularly challenging time. I assure you we are doing what we can to assist you and will continue to do so. I'm going to repeat my colleague's message this week and continue to encourage all evacuees to register at the reception center that's been identified for your community. Doing this will help staff quickly assist you and connect you to the right resources. If you have any livestock or agriculture-related questions, please contact your municipality or the Wildfire Resource Line at 310-4455. As the wildfire situation continues to evolve and conditions are different in each evacuated area and can change quickly, some rural municipalities are allowing temporary re-entry for farmers to check on livestock and to provide feed and water. These re-entries and decisions are determined by each municipality and are based on their assessment of the fire risk. Farmers and ranchers should check with their local municipality before attempting to re-enter any evacuated area to check on their livestock. If you need help, there are many organizations, agriculture societies, and auction markets that may have additional supports available for farmers and ranchers. You can find this information and more about the available resources by visiting alberta.ca/emergency or by calling 310-4455. Alberta Agriculture and Irrigation has been in touch with partner organizations like Livestock and Crop Commissions, AFSC, auction markets, and ag societies to share information as well. We know that we need a long-term, coordinated response to address the agriculture challenges we are facing, and I want to assure you that we are here for you now, and we will continue to be here for you over the long run. We are assessing the situation. We are in contact with our federal agriculture counterparts, and we will continue to discuss a comprehensive recovery response while responding to the challenges at hand today. Alberta's agriculture community has always been strong and resilient. Farmers and ranchers band together in the tough times to help each other out, and the past week has been no exception. I commend our rural communities for continuing to support one another. The kindness and generosity of Alberta's agriculture community is truly remarkable. Please, everyone, take care of each other and continue to stay safe out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Bree Hutchinson, Executive Director with Alberta Emergency Management Agency.
Good afternoon, everyone. Alberta continues to be under a provincial state of emergency, and the Provincial Emergency Coordination Centre remains at a level 4. In addition to the provincial state of emergency, there are 19 states of local emergency, as well as 4 band council resolutions, and 10 evacuation orders are in place. The estimated number of evacuees is approximately 16,520. Evacuees are registered at 10 reception centres. If you have been evacuated, please register at the nearest reception centre or online. Registering will make it easier for you to get help and resources, and it makes it easier for us to reach you with important information. We remain in an extremely volatile situation, and the risk of new wildfires remains significant in much of the province. Hot and dry conditions are expected to continue over the weekend and into next week. For those who are in a community that's on an evacuation alert, please continue to be prepared in case you are asked to evacuate, as things can change quickly. I want to reinforce the importance of being prepared for yourself and your loved ones, including your pets. We've got great information on how to prepare for an evacuation available at alberta.ca/beprepared. You can find Alberta emergency alerts by visiting alberta.ca/emergency. Preparing in advance can keep you and your loved ones safe. Evacuation alerts help you to prepare to leave on short notice. You can stay informed by paying attention to emergency alerts and local news updates. Follow your local authorities' social media accounts and download the Alberta Emergency Alert app. To help in your preparation, it's also important to create an emergency plan for yourself and your family that everyone understands. Talk about what you would do, where you would go, and how you would stay in touch if you are not together or not at home when an evacuation order is issued. Remember to stay connected with your neighbors and community members as well. In your preparation, it is crucial to pack an emergency kit that will last for a week or more with essential items such as medications, identification, a first aid kit, flashlights, batteries, non-perishable food, cash, and clothing. Now keep this kit also in an accessible location. And please have a plan in place for your pets. Consider how you'll gather and transport your pets, where you'll go, and what you'll bring, including items such as their food, medication, leashes, and carriers. You can find more tips and information online at alberta.ca/beprepared. Again, that is alberta.ca/beprepared without any spaces. The link is on the alberta.ca/emergency website. I'm asking all Albertans to remain vigilant and observe all fire bans. Albertans should also stay connected with their local authorities. Please download the Alberta Emergency Alert app to your mobile device to receive emergency alerts and important information. These are just a few key updates, but more information on how to prepare and emergency alerts are available again online at alberta.ca/emergency. We continue to work closely with local officials and responders in all affected communities to get personnel, resources, and equipment where they are needed. Finally, I'd like to share that there will be 2 tele-town halls tonight. The first is at 6 p.m. and will cover more on how Albertans can prepare if they need to evacuate. The other is at 7:30 p.m. for wildfire evacuees to get information they need. Thank you, and I'll now turn things over to Jose from Alberta Wildfire for more information on the provincial wildfire situation.
There are 83 active wildfires in the forest protection area of Alberta, and 21 of them are out of control. So far this year, we've responded to over 443 wildfires that have burned nearly 470,000 hectares. You can get up-to-date numbers by accessing our interactive map on the Alberta Wildfire Status page. We are expecting hot and dry conditions with little chance of rain throughout most of Alberta today. We are seeing widespread crossover conditions, which means that the temperature is higher than the relative humidity. These conditions lead to extreme fire behavior and will challenge our firefighters on the ground. New wildfires can ignite easily and spread quickly. While we have seen cooler temperatures and some rain in previous days, it is not enough to make a significant difference on most of these large wildfires. Fire activity will pick up today. We will be watching conditions carefully as they can change quickly. We currently have over 1,500 wildland firefighters, heavy equipment, and air tankers hard at work and responding to wildfires in the province. Helicopter operators are also supporting their efforts by dropping water on hotspots with their buckets. More than 300 wildland firefighters have come from Parks Canada, British Columbia, Quebec, Ontario, the Yukon, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Oregon, and Alaska. Another 200 firefighters from the United States are on their way. Military assistance has also been deployed in the Grand Prairie and Drayton Valley areas. More than 200 soldiers are already hard at work, and about 100 more are expected to start working in the coming days. The military is assisting with basic firefighting duties, such as mop-up operations. Mop-up means extinguishing remaining hotspots in areas of low fire intensity. They're also helping with transportation, heavy equipment operations, and evacuations. We are very grateful for the assistance of our partner agencies who have sent people and equipment to help us. Additional crews allow some respite for Alberta firefighters who have been battling these challenging and unprecedented fires for the last 2 weeks. The wildfire danger is extreme in most of the province and will continue to increase in the coming days. We thank Albertans for doing their part to prevent human-caused wildfires. Given the conditions, it's imperative that everyone continue to respect the fire ban and off-highway vehicle restriction that's in place in the forest protection area of Alberta. We want our firefighters to be able to focus on the fires that are already burning on the landscape instead of responding to new ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. We will now take some questions. If there are any media in the room, please step up to the mic. Okay. Operator, can you please put through the first caller?
Francois Joly, Radio Canada.
Hi everyone. While we're at it, we're just hearing of a new emergency alert and evacuation alert for Leduc County. I'm sorry, this just popped up, so I don't have any of the details. I'm hoping someone in the room can give us the last info on this, or I don't know where you guys are at on this.
I think we'll ask Bree from Alberta Emergency Management Agency to take the mic on this one.
Thank you, Minister. I don't have the information directly in front of me on that emergency, but we'll commit to get back to you about that as soon as this is over.
Thank you. Did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I just wanted to have one question in French for José. Just to follow up on the weather conditions. José, je me demande si tu peux nous comparer peut-être les conditions météo actuelles versus la semaine dernière notamment avec le fait qu'il vente beaucoup moins en ce moment comparé à quand les feux ont commencé. À quel point est-ce que c'est différent de ce qu'on a vu la semaine dernière?
Les conditions météorologiques qu'on voit actuellement sont très chaudes et très sèches. Alors ça, c'est comparatif à la situation d'il y a une semaine, mais on s'attend quand même à avoir un peu moins de vent dans les régions où ces températures sèches sont présentes. Mais quand même, le vent va être un facteur important. On va voir de vent souffler jusqu'à 45 km à l'heure dans certaines régions du nord de la province. Alors, ça va quand même influencer l'activité de feu et causer des conditions dangereuses pour nos pompiers. So I can repeat that in English. I was saying that the conditions that we're seeing on the ground this week are still very hot and dry, so they are similar to a week ago when a lot of these wildfires picked up in intensity. Thankfully, we are expecting a bit less wind, which will be beneficial, of course, but there will be some gusting winds in northern parts of the province up to 35 kilometers an hour, which will cause dangerous conditions on the ground. So we're watching them very carefully, and we'll respond quickly to those.
Thank you. Operator, please put through the next caller.
Josh Paul, RD News Now.
Thank you. I was hoping if we could get an update on the fire that's near just south of Whitecourt. And my first question is maybe if you could address the direction that this fire is going, its size. I know yesterday it was listed as about 5,300 hectares, and today it's still listed as the same. Are there any structures in danger, and the chances that this fire could possibly move towards the town of Whitecourt?
There are several fires burning in the Whitecourt area. Do you have any more information as to which one it is specifically? If you could give me a fire number or the name of the wildfire?
Yes, give me just 1 second here. It's the 035, EWF 035, the Woodlands County one. It's causing an evacuation a little bit south of town.
Okay, so wildfire EWF 035 is part of the Deep Creek complex. So the updated sizes that I have at this time is there's 3 wildfires that are part of that complex. WCU 001 is over 7,000 hectares. WCU 002 is over 2,000. EWF 035 is over 5,000. You can get those latest numbers from our interactive map on our wildfire status page, but I can say that all 3 of these wildfires are out of control, and we're expecting high to extreme fire behavior in that area. I don't have details as to which direction the wind is blowing in that sector specifically, but if you want to connect with us later, we will get you more details.
Yeah. Ethan, if you just go to, yeah, thank you. I think I would just further add that, these fires, of course, as we have very much learned, are very unpredictable. As advised in previous news conferences, please listen to your local municipalities, the local officials in the area. Please stay up to date as to what their direction is, and please listen to what they are. Please listen to what they have to say in regards to the critical incident that is going on in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. And did you have a follow-up question?
I do, if that's all right. In the case that this fire that I was just referencing, EWF 035, if it were to move towards Whitecourt, and recognizing that it's still probably 40 or 50 kilometers away, but Fox Creek fire evacuees are supposed to evacuate to Whitecourt right now. So I'm wondering if there's any kind of backup plan in the works should the Woodland County fire get much closer to Whitecourt.
I think Bree or Josie, I think we'll have you take that question. I would just say that having worked very closely with Alberta Emergency Management Agency, absolutely. Do they have plans? Do they have backup plans? Do they have contingency plans? Absolutely. But maybe for more detail, if we can talk to our officials here, please.
Thank you, Minister. You actually answered that perfectly. We always have plans and backup plans in place for situations like this. If there is a threat to the community that we're evacuating residents to, we will provide alternative options for that. So I won't speak to this one specifically, but I will advise you that we do have plans in place as needed.
Thank you. Operator, please put through the next caller.
Rob Drinkwater, Canadian Press.
Hi. The County of Grand Prairie is saying today that some guy yesterday who was fighting the fire himself with a bulldozer endangered other firefighters and himself while he was knocking down trees. Are you getting reports of other incidents like this happening? There's a lot of frustration out there. Is this a growing problem?
Bree, do you have any other reports on this?
Thank you, Minister. We've not heard about specific of an incident such as this. We encourage citizens, though, looking to support the firefighter response to please talk to their local authorities first before they do so to ensure they can do it as safely as possible.
Yeah, I would just further add to that. I agree with Bree. Make sure you talk to your local authorities. Please, we have to trust those incident command teams. We have to entrust the incident commander. They are making decisions that are in the best interest in dealing with this critical incident. We have, and Bree, maybe you can come back to the podium and correct me, but I believe it is alberta.ca/emergency, where people who want to help out in any way certainly can. They will be assessed by the appropriate local authorities to make sure that the skill sets are fitting in with that incident commander and the incident command team.
Thank you, Minister. Yeah, I would encourage Albertans to, if they're interested in providing support to the response, to please email emergencysupportoffers@gov.ab.ca.
The Minister was just talking, was that Nate Horner or was that Mike Ellis?
That was Mike Ellis.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Did you have a follow-up question?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Okay. Operator, can you please put through the next caller?
Ms. Nicole Silger, Global News.
Hi there. Yeah, I was wondering if you could provide more information about Fire Guard. We heard the Premier talk about this morning for Grand Prairie. I know you touched on the Fire Guards to protect Little Smoky and Fox Creek, but was there more on the Grand Prairie one you could share some insights to as well?
I don't have any additional information on that. So again, I'll go back to the officials. Bree, if you have any further details on that. If Bree doesn't, certainly we'll commit to trying to see if there is any additional information we can provide you.
Thank you, Minister Ellis. I'll pass this over to Jose for more information.
Thank you. Sorry, Jose.
I don't have details on exactly where the fire guard is being built in the Grand Prairie area, but I can say that in general, fire guards are one of several methods that we use to protect a community from a wildfire. But to be successful, they do need to be used with other tactics. We use them in conjunction with things like burnout operations and sprinkler systems that are installed on infrastructure. And burnout means that we will proactively burn vegetation and fuels that are between the wildfire and the fire guard to make sure that when if the fire were to go in that direction, that it would have less vegetation to consume. And we try to tie these fire guards to natural barriers like lakes and rivers. So they are a very important tool, but they're not foolproof, and a large, fast-moving wildfire can still cross a fire guard.
Thank you. Did you have a follow-up question?
Yes, please. Just quickly about Fox Creek. They had posted an update on their social media basically saying the giant has awakened. I'm wondering if you can talk a bit about I know there's many concerns in many areas, but about the concern potentially in Fox Creek, the growth of the fire there, and just immediate concerns.
So we are expecting wildfire activity to pick up today. In fact, it already has. That is to be expected with these hot and dry conditions. So like we've been saying, wildfires can appear dormant for days at a time when temperatures are cooler, if there's a little bit more humidity. And then when we see conditions that are very dry and hot with a little bit of wind, they can flare up and start burning again. So it is something that we were expecting for today. We will see increased fire activity throughout the province on all these wildfires, but we are prepared for it.
Thank you. Operator, can you put through the next caller?
Alex McQuaig, Western producer.
Thanks for taking my call. I guess this question's for the Minister of Agriculture. I'm just wondering, I mean, you've likely taken part in fire responses in your own constituency multiple times. I imagine, I'm going to guess, and I'm wondering what your message is. You know how the agricultural sector responds. The farmers respond with heavy equipment, with tankers, with sprayers. You likely know that this is how the initial response to fires happens. I mean, can you explain whether these people should be doing that, responding like they usually do, or might in other parts of the province, to these wildfires, especially during the initial flare-ups?
Thank you for the question, Alex. I would say it's very important that we follow the evacuation orders. I think first and foremost, we have been clear with farmers in the affected areas, farmers and ranchers with livestock, to care for that. If concerned, they need to go to their municipality, they need to go to the reception center, or they need to go to the register online to make sure they can have that conversation with the people on the ground. They need to identify the specific risk for that area, and they need to clearly understand the risk that they're taking on. But I would say across the province, they're doing a great job onboarding volunteers and equipment. It just has to be done the right way, and everyone needs to understand the risk because this is changing so quickly. People need to understand that there may be instances where their rescue wouldn't be possible as we try to allocate resources to save potential human life.
Thank you. Did you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, and maybe you can speak to that first initial response. I mean, as you probably know, like, first few hours of initial flare-up, 90% of the people out there are from the community, are either ranchers or farmers, hut-rate colonies, women sticking sandwiches and drink boxes in people's hands, young teenagers out there with jean jackets, batting down flames on the grass front. I mean, can you explain, are they supposed to, when that initial response is supposed to go through the fire management system rather than it might in the rest of the province and the areas outside of the fire protection area?
Well, I think that is, I'm sure that is Manny's first first instinct. And like you said, Alex, I've fought many fires like that myself where I'm from. But in this case, because of the severity of the situation, we need to make sure that the people on the ground understand where everyone is. Much like that previous question about the caterpillar, we need to onboard these volunteers the appropriate way, and it's about safety for everyone.
Thank you. Operator, can you put through the next caller?
There are no other questions on the phone at this time.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This concludes today's update.